Hello again. Okay, so I knew I was going to be making lots of little films, trying to embed the essential kind of learning themes that ran through the PowerPoints in a practical sense. So I went with the model of the 48-hour film competition. So for the 48-hour film competition, you have a prop, a line of dialogue, and a character that you're given, and you have to feature them all in the film. I think I probably had 7 hours each with the children, so one day, but I kind of thought that idea of a quick 48-hour challenge is something that will inspire them. I showed them the website, I showed them that it happens in Aberdeen and all around the world, and that we were going to be doing it in the classroom. I broke them into groups, and the first session was all about storytelling, but I also kind of combined it with words and pictures is how I would describe it. So each child was given a little box, and within that box there would be surprise random objects, which would be the prop that they had to incorporate. I also had little cards, bully, that says back to front, or mum. So they were given a character that they would choose randomly, and again, little random objects, games and things. And they really liked that element of surprise. So they would be in the group, they would be given a prop, they would all have a line of dialogue, they would all have the character that they were chosen, and they were given 50 minutes to write a short story which would become a script. I printed off these little storyboard sheets and they had to draw. They could either, I gave them the choice. I said making a film is like, you know, when you read a book, and I would ask them how many of them saw, when they read a book, how many of them saw pictures in their head. I said, and that's essentially what filmmaking is. You're trying to get the pictures from your head onto a piece of paper. So I would get them, they could draw the pictures, they could draw the story in pictures if they wanted, and they could give me the dialogue underneath. And it was really simple, really basic, but just tell a story in 6 images with using words and pictures. And most of the groups from primary 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 all managed this really successfully. And at the end of that session, I had a story. I got each class to vote on the film that they wanted to make. So each group had to present their idea back to the class, and then we all had to vote on which story we liked, and that became the film that we were going to be making. I took this at home with me, and I turned it into a script, and the next week I went back in with the script, with their words. I didn't add anything, I just kept it really simple. I also took examples of BBC scripts from CBBC, like, you know, shows that they would have watched, and I spoke about the importance of a script having all of the information in there, how it was almost like the architect's plan of a house. Everything had to be in here for the actual production. So this one, We Will Survive, which was the space film, I didn't change anything, and I would leave the class with notes. If we didn't quite understand things, or if the story wasn't working, we would discuss it in a group, we would ask questions, and also we would always be watching something at the beginning of the class and analysing it. That's an important part of it. So I would try and find things that related, or things that they liked, and we would analyse them using the dice. I really liked the process of the 3 C's and the 3 S's using the Interfilm dice. So we would start each class with, you know, if we were looking at sound, we would start by watching a film and looking at the use of sound and all of those things. So yeah, by the end of the second week we had a script, and we also chose the groups that we wanted, well, the roles that we wanted to have. So for example, we knew who was going to be acting, who was going to be DOP, who was going to be director, who was art department, who was props and costumes, who was filming behind the scenes. So we had lots of people. This was our little wardrobe makeup person designing things. So everybody was given a role by the end of the second week. They were given jobs to do. I created to-do lists. This worked really well for teachers. I would leave things that had to be done. The teachers that really worked well with me, I would come back in and all of these things would have been done. Sometimes it wasn't done, and that made it a bit harder, but you know, if they'd done the things and done the to-do list, it was quite good. And week 3 and 4 was basically about filming. So again, I allowed them to make mistakes. They filmed things maybe badly or not that well for the actual 3rd week. I would edit it together. I would take it back in, we would watch it, we would analyse it, we would talk about the shots, what didn't work, and they would be so quick at noticing, oh, that doesn't work, we need to have a close-up here of the eyes, we need to see a wide shot, we need to... So they understood what they were doing wrong, and then we had another day filming, kind of correcting all the mistakes that we'd made, and then the 5th week was purely about editing and sound effects. And again, everybody on that day, people were editing, I took my Mac in, other people were doing credits and titles, I had people in the music room doing sound effects. I really liked just using the iPhone or the iPad and just singing into it, or trying to create sound effects, or people would be sourcing any other element that we needed just to pull together for the final film. So those were the 5 sessions. We probably made each film in about, in total, 7 hours. I think it helped because the teachers, like I say, really saw the learning happening in a practical sense, and how you can break it down, and the importance of things, and that it's okay to make mistakes and then to go back and revisit it. But yeah, I would be really interested to find out, you know, what you've been doing, and like I say, hopefully using the Facebook page just to share a little bit and reflect a little bit on the work that we've been doing. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.